It's literally like the longer you go without having it, it like stacks. It's like
So you're just
it's like
go until it's like
stack?
500,000.
it's like
And then they're just gonna
infinite.
come by.
Like my stepdad was like, you should have like done it because you can do like a fine forgiveness thing if you're like broke, and he was like, you should have done that like before you got a job when you had no income.
Yeah.
But now it's too late.
So wait, if you can prove that you're broke, you don't have to pay like legal fines?
It's like, I don't know, it's a bunch of bullshit. I've looked into it and I'm just like, wow. Like at this point, I haven't had a license longer than I have, so it doesn't matter.
So
I
you've
don't
had
care.
heat on you.
So you
for,
just
like, the
can't
better
get
part of
pulled
a
over.
decade.
That's it.
Yeah, and if I do
What
get
if someone
pulled over, I'll
rear-ends?
get shot anyway. It doesn't matter.
That's
It's
true.
true.
You'll be dead no matter what.
That's flawless
Right.
logic.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It all checks out, actually. I don't know why we ever questioned you. Ross isn't good.
Like whoever fucking started Ross is on a yacht right now, like a 300-foot yacht with at least 40 women, and they're just doing whatever they want, and they fucking started Ross.
I don't think that's correct.
Several $1 billion in the bank. Let's look
Whoever
up the
started
heir
Ross is
of Ross.
dead.
Heir
Killed for
of
their sins.
Ross.
All right, let's go through them.
Wait, I don't want to. This is the first time I'm laying eyes on this.
The
These are all
first,
bad.
the first one is Mr.
Metal
Peeples.
meditations? No one. This is fucking awesome.
The first one is Mr. Peeples, which is an abandoned like nightclub that's right next to where I live. And I don't know why it's abandoned, but it's a great location. The building is huge, a lot of rooms. And the idea is we turn it into a giant LAN gym. You host tournaments,
Founder.
consoles and PC, free
No
play,
one's gonna
but
do
also
that.
subscription for serious players. Basically a multiple story Third Coast.
Sit in Katie Mills, and AJ Sosa had all of his birthday parties there,
Yeah.
and it failed because it was right next to a tapioca place.
Well, that's the thing. Mr. Peoples is big enough to house tapioca as well.
Amazon, but for terrible neckbeards, but an actual store, so not like Amazon at all.
No, I mean, it's not a store. It's a place where people go to play games.
And they just play games at home.
Yeah, but it's a LAN gym. That's the telos of it. Well, okay, we'll go through each one of them. Y'all provide commentary. And then at the end,
Ross Stores Inc. is worth $6.1 billion.
Yeah, and that's all from like Mexicans buying like.
The founder has $700 million. His net worth is $700 million for just fucking Ross. Jesus.
he's not actually alive. He was assassinated years ago. It's
No,
a front.
he wasn't. He even sold it early.
So you probably didn't see any of that.
No, he sold. His
700
net worth is
million.
$700 million.
How you gonna believe that? The
What, you
Ross guy?
fucking fake news beard. Everything that makes you feel bad, you just say it's fake news. No, it's just fucking true. He
No,
also
I'm actually
started
not a fake
Mervings.
news guy, but with regard to the Ross guy's net worth, it's 100% fake news.
Who the fuck would plant that?
You
I
tell me?
believe it. I believe it.
You're the guy with Ross in your mind.
Ross is on everyone's mind.
All right. What do you got on the Mr. People? So we're moving on.
Are we recording?
It's a yeah, we've been recording.
You're supposed to warn the people.
No, that's how you
I
get
would
the
have pulled
good
my
stuff.
shit together.
You don't tell them. You don't tell them
Okay,
anything.
yeah, whatever the fuck you just recorded with Alex talking about Ross, me shutting the idea down immediately, and yeah, that was,
We're still
We gotta-
recording.
good stuff.
Joe, you got to edit that out. None of that was good.
No,
I
it's
haven't even edited the
all
last
all in play. That's what you have to understand. When you come onto the cast,
You're gonna have to
everything's in
edit
play.
down this like hour of rambling down to at least like
It's forever.
maybe you might
It's been
get
about 3 minutes.
You might get
It's been about
2.5
3
minutes of material.
It's been about 3 minutes.
Like I think the Death Note one took me like 4 hours to edit, and then I was just like, I'm finished and done with editing.
That took you 4 hours to edit. I don't believe you. All right, we're moving on.
I have to keep splicing in all the bullshit,
He's edit shaming you.
all the anime breathing.
That's true. There was a lot of editing, actually. All right, what are your thoughts, Alex, on Mr. People's abandoned nightclub becoming a land gym?
What the fuck is Mr. Peoples?
It's an abandoned nightclub next to where I live. Did you not listen to anything I said earlier? We turn it into a
I mean,
land
I
gym.
heard you say I'm still having quality issues.
Land gym is fucking like an awful.
No, a land
I know.
gym will never work. You know that's done. Move on.
Why,
over.
though? Why can't it work?
I mean, we can now with like, you know,
It existed at Kitty Mills.
Well, okay, let me be clear.
And it was shit.
Let me
No.
be clear.
you're trying to be clear.
Let me be clear. These, maybe this one specifically, but some of these don't necessarily have to be money-making propositions. They can be like a community center, like a library,
You're gonna get a grant to open it.
a public good.
It has to fucking turn a profit. That's how.
I'm going to get a grant from the government to start a land gym in Mr. People.
Say this would be great for the young kids.
Yes. It's a
No, it
community
wouldn't.
center
The
where
place called
kids can
fucking
congregate.
Mr. Peoples is where you go to get. Never mind.
I know, and that's why we're going to change the name
No.
to the
The
land
the
gym.
ghost in Mr. Peoples will stay at Mr.
You
Peoples.
gotta keep it named Mr. Peeples
Yeah.
Beards, the land and the land gym from
That'll get that'll get the beers in the door.
a little voyeurism.
Okay, but
People
that's
that are
the
into
best
watching
idea I
people
have. So everything is downhill from here. All right, the next one.
voyeuristic.
The next one is a hardcore board game cafe. And let me
This
be
is
clear
just the
also.
fucking same as Mr. Peoples. All of these ideas just go into the same building.
Okay, wait. A lot of these were come up with. That doesn't make any sense. A lot of these were came up with in the same 30-minute increment. It was like bang, bang, bang. Never revisited them. We're literally reading the things that I wrote as of September 26th at 2:50 p.m.
I don't think this is a good recipe for an episode. I think we should filter these first because they're all bad.
No. This is the perfect recipe for an episode because we're gonna go through them. You're gonna get first takes. Y'all haven't even looked at them. That's
I
helpful.
think we started. I just glanced through all of them and there's nothing there.
No, let's go through them. You tell me why there's nothing there on each bullet point. The second one, hardcore board game cafe. You have a cafe that's like
no one who
Starbucks.
fucking likes board games.
You know what that's called? That's called the fucking Third Coast,
Yeah.
where people go and like you smell like
Yeah.
donuts.
No,
Yeah, but
that-
it's more streamlined.
No,
You guys need
it's
to open
not.
your minds. to it.
Streamlined. You don't fucking. It doesn't matter how streamlined you make a place. If you invite those people there, it's going to be garbaged in a month, maybe. And like every time you go in there,
Garbage?
you're gonna have to blow off the fucking Cool Ranch Dorito dust off of your arms because it's just going to be disgusting in there.
If that's what it takes to build a welcoming environment where people can come and play good board games and drink some coffee.
Card shops aren't welcoming
Maybe eat a
environments.
pastry?
You know that.
Okay, but I'm trying to change the whole dynamic. That's the point of this.
No, but that's it. You don't. The customer at the
Okay,
end
so
of the day
this is
determines the
land-
vibe. You can set up whatever vibe you want,
I
and
understand
then
that.
opening day they're just gonna wreck it.
Not
Then
every
that's gonna be it.
person
You
that
cannot
likes board games.
you cannot correct those people.
Not
on how
every
they do
person that likes board games is a beard. There are normals. There are normies that like board games.
it. No, there's a lot, but those people are not going to leave their house to go play board games because it's just a normal part of their life.
They might.
It's not a passion.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take your criticism on that. But
They're just like, oh yeah, let's play board games for 30 minutes in between dinner and reading a book and then going to bed before I go to my job. Like those aren't
but
people
it'd
that
be a way
go to
to
board
discover
games.
new games. They'd have community games there. People wouldn't bring their own. They could.
Board game
There'd be a
people
lot
are
of games
approachable?
available. Be a
But
way
board
to
game
introduce
people are approachable to actually like introduce to a casual person. No, you know
What
that.
board game?
Are board game people approachable and willing to teach or put up with someone who's never played a game? No. How do you
Okay,
get
that's
around
fine.
that?
Again, you can be cynical about every idea. That's fine. But we're going through.
I'm
it.
cynical about the board game idea.
Okay, the next one.
This is Land
Wacky.
Gym 1.01. Same shit.
The best part about playing board games is just owning them and putting them on a shelf. That's what I've come to figure out.
Maybe for you. You can't
You never-
generalize that to everyone.
The last board game I played was a Harry Potter board game, and I had no idea what any of the lore was.
You've
Okay,
never seen Harry
why?
Potter?
That's fair. You shouldn't have played that game, but you did.
It's in my home, and they brought it.
Okay. All right, the next one is Wacky Sports Gym. So this, I realize, already exists, basically.
This is the same shit.
All these are just let's buy a big
Okay,
building.
yeah, no, I'll go ahead and
And
say
have
it. All of these
PE.
are let's buy a huge warehouse and do like Rob Dyrdek Fantasy Factory shit in it. A lot of them are that. That's my point. I think the whole point of my thesis is I don't think there's a lot of room for new ideas outside of experiences is my idea. Because, yeah, you can make a widget, whatever you can think of, something 10 times better already exists. You can make software, that's true, that's like an open area, but I don't know a lot about coding, so that's out of my realm of possibility.
But how could you
So we're not
possibly
talking
say
products.
that like every physical thing there's just something 10 times better already? Like literally,
Like widgets, like I'm talking about hardware, non-software products. I
you
don't
think we're
have
already
a
at
mind
the
for that.
peak there?
Well, it's partly because I don't have a mind for it, and then
If this is the peak of society, this is ass.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're not there.
we're not where.
We're not already past the prime of being inventive in terms of physical, tangible products.
I don't think we are, but I don't think I could come up with stuff that is currently out there, and the things that are currently out there are probably just going to get incrementally better, but not be transformatively better over time, I think. That's why a lot of these ideas are what I just explained. Buy a warehouse, some experience.
But these all have already been done also.
Not exactly in the way that I'm presenting them. But okay, also, the whole point of this isn't necessarily, okay, these are brand new ideas that are completely novel. I think it'd be awesome if I was like a small business owner. Like, it'd be cool to just own Third Coast and be successful. Like, obviously, they don't make money. But if you're going to start a business, why would you not want to own?
You call owning a Camaro successful?
I'm saying Third Coast is not successful. They don't make any money. My point is, it would be nice to own something like this.
Dropping my keys, so I handed it to him.
What?
Like taking my cards.
No, I'm talking about if you
Yeah.
owned like
I remember I
Slater
tried
Sports
to
Zone.
mark up my cards and sell it to him, and he fucking
No, he
called me out
sucked.
on
That's
it.
my point. He didn't make any money because I don't know, the overhead of owning a place like that doesn't work. But I'm saying in a perfect world, like owning
Aren't
a
they
place
the
like
biggest
Slater
card
Sports
shop in
Zone.
Houston?
Wasn't the
Isn't
big-
Third Coast like incredibly successful? In terms
I mean-
of as far as game shops go.
Probably more successful than the other ones, but in general, like whenever we talk to the guys, they said
Yeah, I
they
mean,
could
still
barely
bad
pay
business.
their rent.
Well, that's what they all say. It's a sob story.
Barely
I mean, they might have been lying, but
Oh man,
He was gouging us.
those hot pockets, they were like $2.50 a piece.
Right. He was charging like $5.50 for a pack also, instead of $4 like everywhere else.
You think owning a Camaro is being successful? Let's continue.
you're completely mischaracterizing.
And owning
what I
a
said,
card
but that's
shop
fine.
in a Katy strip mall.
you threaten to beat the shit out of people if they ever come back into your
The
shop.
reason why it's funny is because I can see it.
No.
Okay, so
my whole
okay,
point
so
was he sucked.
okay, so you have like a ball pit idea. Okay, so
Okay,
you have a
Wacky
big
Sports
building with
Gym.
a ball-
Well,
yeah,
let's
ball
go
pit.
through it. Wacky Sports Gym, talking slam ball. So you got the
That
bouncy
exists.
shit with basketball
We-
goals.
We went there with
Dodgeball
John and
plays
his
into that.
friends.
Yeah, that place exists.
Shit.
Quidditch, for the people who like that. Parkour. Like, all of these could be in one place, or they could be separate places.
Quidditch?
But, like, a huge gym, Fantasy Factory style, with all this shit in it.
Okay.
Why are y'all laughing? You know that'd be dope.
Yes.
No one can tell me with a straight face slam ball is not awesome.
You lost me at. Well, see,
Quidditch?
that's okay. No, that's fine. Whatever. Slam ball. Okay. You'd have people get injured first day, and it would never work.
That
And
already
you'd
exists.
you would still charge people like $20 work. But if it was like a $5 unlimited play type of thing, fine.
Okay, we can get into pricing later. The point of this is just to go into the ideas themselves. Like you can talk about pricing or like
Wacky.
what people would
go
value.
People would go once and be like, okay, cool. Like I don't have to do that again for
No, but that's
like,
the thing. It's like, it's this. What is the purpose of the discussion? We're just talking about like what would be cool.
Well, we can talk about
Like
pricing.
what's actually like real. What is actually something that people would enjoy doing?
That's the point. I think it's
Yeah.
a dynamic of these are cool ideas versus coming up against the reality of whether or not they're actually economical. I think a lot of them
I think
aren't.
we should be talking about like, if you want to talk about wacky stores and shit, talk about like what led to the fall of Discovery Zone and Chuck E. Cheese, and why does that type of model not work for parents and kids these days?
I don't
Like,
know.
why does that not exist? Those
think it
businesses were booming, and that was an integral part of every kid's like birthday party and all that shit.
Yeah,
I never
it's
personally
because
had one there,
kids
but I
didn't
went to one.
have all the shit they have at home now. They have the games they can play that are better than Chuck E. Cheese and the arcade.
Yeah, but we fucking play video games a lot. I have like
It's
nephews
different
that play
now,
video games a lot. Like they play like Minecraft and stupid shit like that, but then they also just still play outside a lot. It's like
a lot
it's
of kids don't
weird
do
that
that.
that
think
whole
it's-
model just doesn't work.
I think it could. I don't think it's just gone forever. There's
That's gonna be
a
something as a
resurgence.
parent where I like think about it one day and just like, why is there not like just a Discovery Zone that exists anymore that's actually like clean and there's not, used heroin needles in the ball pit? Like
Yeah.
why is there nowhere that I can just like take a kid for him to have a fun experience and meet other little kids like that?
Yeah,
That's
I
where
agree.
that my memories of it were perfect.
I think there's
And-
I think there is a demand for it. Or there can be. It's just people have forgotten. The Discovery Zones of the past are gone, and now it's been.
I mean,
gone
they
long
ran
enough,
those
people have
businesses
forgotten.
into the ground. Why did Discovery Zone go out of business? Was
It's
it
worth
a lack
looking
of
into.
demand, or is it mismanaged?
I don't know. I've never thought about that. It's worth thinking about. It's worth researching.
I'm gonna find it.
Okay. So the Wacky Sports Gym kind of already exists. I understand that. But the idea would just be to combine all of them into one place or just make it new somehow. Like basically franchising Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory. That's the idea there. I don't think that necessarily exists. And then the next idea I had was your idea, Alex. The urban commune. The bungalow.
There it is. Discovery Zone was bought by Blockbuster, and they drove prices up and fired a bunch of executives and overexpanded. But there's still demand for it.
There you go. They were bought by a sinking ship.
Blockbuster and then by Viacom.
Oh, honey, you still there?
Yeah, I heard him call.
I'm here. I have
You never went to Discovery Zone?
I have nothing to add. Nope, never went.
You never went to Chuck E. Cheese?
I did go there.
When?
I like to ignore me, so.
Was it not fun when we went to that bouncy place, or what the fuck it was called? Sky Zone?
It was fun with John's friend.
Yeah, that was cool as shit. Playing dodgeball. Like, everyone still wants to play dodgeball.
Don't know.
Like, who doesn't still want to play dodgeball?
Yeah, I
It's
wanna
just
play
not
dodgeball.
readily available.
It was friends from college.
Oh.
I remember this was I remember exactly when it was because I was driving in from College Station and I literally like drove straight from College Station to that place on like I-10.
Yeah. It was fun.
Fun.
It was like we were like the oldest kids. there.
$30. Yeah, and how old were we? Like 20 then? Like,
Yeah.
everyone else was like little kids, and they were like their parents were just like stay away from them because they were like being rough.
Yeah, I hit some kid like really hard with a ball on accident. Like it went astray, and I like felt bad.
Didn't go astray.
I wasn't aiming for him. I was aiming for someone else, but I threw it really hard either way. So
Yeah, I remember we were playing dodgeball like completely overmatching these kids. It was fucking awful.
yeah, but I think the Wacky Sports Gym, partly already exists, so that there's definitely demand for something like that.
Was that place still open?
Yeah, I'm sure. But the next one is the commune, Alex. We don't have to go into this deep, but The commune could be like the setting for all of these things.
What? I'm not going to live in a strip.
Wait. No. What is
You
the
can live
commune
in an
other than
abandoned
living
Ross.
in a strip mall?
I can't live in an abandoned Ross.
You're gonna have to. That's what the commune is.
No,
Unless there's
it's
some
not.
miscommunication.
That is not what the fucking commune is.
It's living in an abandoned Ross
No.
with like some like hammocks. All right, we have to go into it, but the bottom line is
we're
the
not.
commune
I refuse
is a
to.
cool idea, and it's not going to become a cult.
No, it will. But it'll be a good cult. It'll be the first example in the
Of a good
textbooks
cult. All right,
of
I'm willing
a
to test that
positive
idea.
cult.
I'm willing to test that idea. And
No, I mean that should be a real topic of is it possible to have
that's
a
a metaphysical
long-standing
conversation
and positive cult?
that should be had. Is it possible
Yeah.
to have a benevolent?
That's something real, something kind of tangible that everyone relates to.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a discussion. The commune is a discussion for another.
No, not
cast.
commune, just cultism. And is there?
No, that goes hand in hand with the commune discussion. I know it's too soon
That's
to have
fine.
it,
That's
but we'll
fine.
have it. We will have it. All right, the next place is the terrible idea. It's just laser tag, but it's also like liquor, and you like have people like that are adults that are drunk there.
Wow.
So the idea
They're like,
is
that's like people
they
are
sign
going to get hurt
waivers.
regardless.
they sign
Yeah.
waivers.
All of these have waiver issues and legality.
Well, yeah. There's a blanket waiver issue with everything here.
Puking and a lot of blood.
I mean, we could literally just go to like fucking laser tag right now and just get drunk before an Uber. What's the
Pre-game
difference?
laser tag. Pre-game laser quest or whatever.
But
Yeah.
part of this is also just, and I go into this later, but making a way better laser tag place. Like laser tag could be so much more. That's the idea. And then the
I kind of
liquor part is
like
just
the
like
dirtiness of a lot of laser tag places. I
I'm
like
not
that
talking
they
about
feel like
cleaning
they
it up,
were just no. I mean the overall thing where it's like kind of like some dirty old carpet and some like spray painted graphics on the walls that don't really make sense.
Yeah,
Lights
I
are
love that
flickering a little
aesthetic. We
bit.
could keep that.
It's kind of humid in there. I like that's part of laser tag for me.
Well, I agree with that, but I think laser tag could be improved by the maps. I think the maps could be better. The structures, where you're playing, the setting, and the guns are mostly fine, but you could improve those probably also. Like put some ACOG sights on there or something.
What?
ACOG.
No, there's no accuracy. Random bullshit. Laser tag is bad. That's just my opinion.
That's fine. You've said every idea is bad so far, so you're I'm over with that. I'm fine with that. The next one, Funplex for adults. So, did y'all ever go to Funplex?
David Buster.
How is this any different than every other idea so far?
Dave and Buster's is not Funplex. They're all they're all like building on each other. Like I said,
They're not
came up
building
with
on
all
each
of
other.
these in a half hour, and I didn't revisit them.
The only reason it's building on each other is because they're all the same one.
Yeah.
No, they're related. They're not the same idea. Y'all understand
just
that?
skip this one. No, Dylan, they just are. Just concede that. They're all just like fun, dumb stuff in a building. Like
Yes,
that
that is true. But
there's no reason to like spend several sentences talking about a Funplex for adults whenever we just talked about liquor plus laser tag plus a wacky sports gym plus Mr. fucking Peeples turning into a land gym. Like it's all just people for something specific that where they're going to be price gouged and there's probably liability issues.
Well, I don't agree with all of those things.
Let's
I
go ahead and
price
cross
gouge
off
people.
Foam Parkour Gym and Mission Impossible Escape Room.
You're jumping ahead. The next one's Mario Kart. You're just recreating the full track.
That's just called go-karting.
No, I'm talking about specific aesthetic of Mario Kart. Like Disney World is a specific. It's Disney. It's not just a theme park. It's not just roller coasters. Like it would be Mario Kart. You would recreate the tracks. Like within reason. And everybody, Cube will get like foam shells and like bananas and shit. These big novelty bananas you can throw on people. That should already exist in Japan.
It already does.
Maybe it does, but you bring it here. I mean, is that bad? Nothing.
What is the why in Mario
What is
Kart?
the price?
Oh, just why for all that other than just because you can.
I mean, just because you can is like the whole point here. And go-karts is fun. You added Mario Kart to it, it just makes it, it's the same as go-karts, but better. So most of these don't need to be justified. They're just inherently good.
You
At
just
least
put
the
them
idea
out
behind
there.
them.
You put them out there for someone to steal and then fail at.
Yes. I don't mind revealing any of these because I know they're all inherently probably not profitable ideas, which makes them not good in a
You're
capitalist
pretty
society.
hesitant to say that.
They're not economical, but it doesn't mean I don't think they shouldn't exist. Right?
There's still a lot of hope in your voice.
Yeah, but I'm revealing them all. So whoever listens to this, which is 0 people, will be able to steal all of these ideas and take them to fruition and never give me any credit.
My problem
I'm
with
comfortable with
ideas
that.
like this is that good ideas should not require you to be absurdly rich first. And any
Well,
place
you're living
that
in the
is
wrong society.
enormous, giant gym that requires a fuck ton of overhead is not a good idea to me.
Economically. But think about it from
that
the
is a
perspective.
big portion of a good idea.
I know, but think about it from the perspective of it just existing down the road. Like, would you go there? Would it be a good idea? Would it be a good idea in the sense of there being demand for it and people getting in the door because they want to experience it? Outside of, I don't have the capital to start this in the first place. Because you could say it all day long with a million different ideas.
It's fair, but
You can
a
just
lot
code
of
something.
things.
I get that and become rich, but that's the whole point of what I said at the beginning. Is like, yeah, I could come up with some software, but I also don't really. It's not within my skill set. Next one's another thing that should already exist. Me and Will talked about this as kids. Just life-size, realistic Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel arenas with holograms of the monsters.
That's easy.
Speaks for itself. Should already exist. VR and all that.
You can do that right now.
Yeah.
I know
VR.
there's a batting cage somewhere in Houston that I used to go to. But it's not holograms, but that would be cool. But it was like there's a huge projector screen at like the end of the cage that you could load like any pitcher you wanted, any major league pitcher, and set any pitch, any
Hit some
speed.
dingers off of Kershaw.
No, it's impossible. Like it's very difficult.
Oh, he like actually throws
I was
like,
throwing against
his
him.
pitches?
It was Randy Johnson, fucking Randy Johnson throwing against me, like 6 foot whatever he is.
Wait, and it throws it like 100 miles an hour?
Yeah, no, he was throwing like 90. They had it on like 90 or something, which is Randy Johnson can fucking throw harder than that. And it's just like it actually shows you how impossible it is, intimidating it is.
See, that's a
Like,
cool idea.
face
I've never
someone
even
like
thought
that.
about that.
I know. I don't even know if it exists anymore. That's a fucking perfect idea, but
Yeah.
let me see if I can find it.
So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! That one's pretty easy to understand for anybody that knows that show. So escape room, but Mission Impossible, like you have to do like physical feats. This is liability all over it. I understand that, but I don't know if this exists really. It probably does, but doing an escape room that's Mission Impossible themed. Thoughts?
Another why idea.
Have you done escape room?
That doesn't appeal to me, I guess.
Escape rooms in general?
I don't know. I'm lost. I'm on a different wavelength here.
Escape rooms are fun.
Escape rooms are cool, like if they're well done. I've done a couple, and that's something that's like, I mean, I haven't done the research, but it seems like that's growing. There's a lot more of them than there used to be like 5 years ago. So there must be some demand for them. So that's like a platform for a lot of these, where it's like there is some demand for like these experience things where you can go do team building events or birthday parties. I don't know. Next one's foam parkour gym, which we've kind of already. That one is a repeat. That is exactly a portion of the Wacky Sports Gym. So this one is objectively probably a bad idea. I don't know how the LARP market is right now, but you build an actual like castle for hardcore LARPing because people do that.
You could literally have one place that just has all this shit and just a different day of the week is.
Yeah,
like,
the commune. That was my point.
No. No one is gonna fucking live in a foam castle with you. Like it's not.
I don't want to live in the foam castle.
You do. You want to live. You want to live in like the back office of an abandoned Ross.
That is hell for me. There's nothing I want further from that.
You already said you would love to be the owner of Third Coast, a card shop.
No, I'm saying if I would like to own a small business. Like that would be something that I probably would enjoy. Among the many different paths I could take in life, owning a small business would be something I would enjoy. Like specifically Third Coast, I don't know because I don't know how successful that is, and I don't know if I'd want to deal with all that. But owning a small business in general is definitely something that appeals to me.
Okay.
But yeah, build a modern castle for hardcore.
We can
LARPing.
easily skip to the end. The one idea on here, the only one I really
Star
relate
Trek
to.
Bridge Simulator. That's the next one. I mean, they're not going to skip that.
No, we can. The Ender's Game Battle Room is a good one.
I mean, yeah, that's the one that I threw in at the end because I knew it was impossible. Doing zero grav. Obviously, that's a good idea, but it's not actually.
Zero gravity?
We just don't have the means.
No, not yet. But I mean, we're just gonna go through them all. It's fine. The Star Trek Bridge Simulator. You bring friends. Everybody mans a position. You go through simulations. This happens in the Star Trek movie. They are doing a simulation where they have to make a decision, and the captain and the engineer and the pilot are all there. That'd be fun. That should exist. I don't know if it does or not. It's basically like a big interactive video game, but like everybody's actually on the bridge.
You just fly?
Yeah, you just like encounter different scenarios. It's like a big interactive board game. Like, you know, they have board games like House on Haunted Hill that have a whole booklet of different missions or scenarios you can do. Star Trek Bridge Simulator, same thing, but a huge interactive screen. I don't know, just spitballing. Buy an old IMAX theater, play nothing but bangers, because that's something I think about a lot. If you miss a movie in theaters, you don't really have the opportunity ever again to watch it.
Yeah,
in
and
theaters.
a lot of movies are made for seeing in a theater, like Interstellar or something like that. I'll never get to experience that again.
Right, that sucks. You can only
Well,
watch it on like your big
Whiplash.
TV at home.
Any of those you can't fucking see in theater ever again.
Yeah. So buying that'd be like a dream to somehow get the copies of movies you'd want to see again. Not even just IMAX. IMAX would just be ideal, but just getting a theater that plays old movies. And you know, some movie theaters do this.
Alamo Drafthouse does that.
Yeah. Alamo Drafthouse is that's a really good idea. That's an inspiration for a lot of this. I like that place. And the next one is also like an idea I basically stole from Alamo Drafthouse, a movie Riff Off. I know there's people that are trying to be comedians at Alamo Drafthouse that will riff movies. I've never actually been to one, but I know that exists. This idea is, and this has the potential to just be disastrous. You have to have willing people to go and participate in this, but you have volunteers that go up and try to improv and riff movies, and the audience votes whether or not they get to stay up there and continue, or they vote them off because they suck.
Riff movies?
Yeah. Have you heard of this?
There's like a movie?
You just make fun of the movie
Who's
as it's playing.
gonna make fun of it?
It's like Master Pancake or
Riff Tracks. Mystery
Tracks.
Science Theater.
any of the above.
But it's the idea of having
It'll definitely be a disaster letting any amateur do that.
yeah, it can.
I went to an improv thing in LA. Then it was 45 minutes of the actual improv dudes doing it. 30 were hey, whoever comes up here can improv with us. And then everyone that went up there was terrible. and then like,
But there could be
Like,
comedy in watching people suck.
No, I think one of the other things the other day would be like a terrible like amateur comedy shit, but where the people are actually like they're trying to be comedians or whatever. Where you just whenever you purchase a ticket and you're walking in, they actually just give you a bunch of rotten like food.
Yeah, we thought
And it's like part of it. It's like part of the thing, and you're not actually like hurting anyone's feelings, but you can actually
The
just
guy is ready.
throw shit at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy's ready to be barraged.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be cathartic for the people throwing the potatoes and maybe the guy who's doing it.
Potatoes.
Tomatoes.
Potatoes are pretty hefty.
I was gonna be like, that would hurt.
Yeah.
You bake some potatoes.
I'm gonna
and
throw
fill them
some
with cheese.
some unripe avocados. They're hard
Yeah,
as fuck.
that'd be
That's
cool.
baseball.
That could be part of it. Maybe the people that suck at riffing the movie also get tomatoes on them.
Recreate a YouTube channel, but IRL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real life Rainbow Six. It's like the video game. Do like terrorist hunt. So this is laser tag, but Rainbow Six style, where you're breaching and clearing a building full of people. It's like a haunted house, but the terrorist people are the monsters. Similar idea. I don't know. Rainbow Six is cool. Fight me. Y'all are gonna say it's terrible. Next one's video game theme park. So this is like it's like Disney, but you have it like Nintendo World, which I think already exists. But you can have like Halo, Elder Scrolls.
So where does the Mario Kart thing go in this?
That's a part of this.
Okay, no, but okay, Legend of Zelda theme park. How is that not something that you would not go to? You know you would.
It depends.
No. If that
Yeah.
opened up in Houston right now.
Would a bunch of people go shoot themselves in it like an Astroworld?
The-
That's
Was
what
there a mass
Astroworld is.
suicide in
No,
Astro?
that's the thing. I don't think video games do not deserve any theme parks or anything like that
That's a
because
terrible
they're not
Nintendo
deep
World?
enough. They're not deep
Nintendo's-
enough.
Nintendo's just as like big as Disney.
Like it works for they are in terms of maybe like the idea, but story wise and all of that, it's like what do you if you're gonna make like a fucking Super Mario roller coaster, it would just be like there's not a lot of depth in any of the Nintendo stuff, and I
yeah, Nintendo
enjoy it all
also-
and I like it, but it
the
works.
other examples
but
that I came up with, Elder Scrolls and Halo. Elder Scrolls story that
That's
just
a
be like a
tiny
Renaissance
niche
festival.
audience.
But then,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
those
the hell?
are dead though.
What is the ride?
Well, where is it? Does this mix with the LARPing also?
It could.
You're just naming like you just want to buy like a plot of land and let neckbeards like live there.
He just he wants to be the head neckbeard of a neckbeard.
No, I mean,
All they do is play games.
yes, this is like I said, the whole point of this, the thesis of a lot of this is I'm trying to create experiences.
How do you make productive neckbeards part of like a small community? That's an important topic.
I don't know. That
They
I've never
they have to,
thought
like,
about that. That
have
would
to
be
sustain
something to
themselves
consider in the
Would
comments.
they have to like work the land, and then maybe after like from 5 p.m. to the end of the day, then they can play? Like what?
So
What do you? I'm not trying to build a society.
You've already
Suggesting-
said you wanted to build a commune
Alex
You're the one that
suggested-
wanted to build the
with
commune.
neckbeards. No,
You wanted the commune. I thought it was a good idea, but you're the one that came up with it.
you put
Alex
your
has
own
suggested
words.
already
You
happened.
put your own
It
words
was
in my
called-
mouth already
It was
about.
called feudalism.
I'm not talking about feudalism. I'm not a
I was
tyrant.
talking about us just getting really rich and just buying a square block in like New York City where we own every floor of an enormous building.
Yes.
We can just kind of do whatever we want. I'm not talking about like living in the woods and running like an amateur commune that also runs a Renaissance festival November 1st through November 16th every year. Like
I
I don't
didn't explicitly say any of that. A lot of these are just buildings. Like, okay, the theme park, Elder Scrolls theme park, if you want to turn that into like a feudalism, like whole society, yeah, I could maybe work with that. But that's not what I said. That's not what I wrote down. It's just an Elder Scrolls theme park. Theme parks are cool. I'm sad that they're dying. I'm sad we don't have Astroworld anymore. My point is, I want more theme parks and video game theme parks.
But that's the thing. Why don't you go to theme parks now? When's the last time you went to a theme park?
Last year, probably. I went to either Dallas or San Antonio Astroworld. I mean, if not Astroworld, but Six Flags. If there was a Six Flags in Houston, I would consider going there at least once a year, if not twice.
Okay.
Maybe get a season pass. I don't know.
My
It's not as
coworkers
convenient when
talk
you have to
about
drive.
how oh yeah, I got season tickets for Six Flags, and my kids went twice, and they were like, "That was awful."
No, okay. That's another reason why I don't go to theme parks. I don't know anybody that likes going.
Expensive.
People y'all don't like.
I
y'all
enjoy
don't like
theme
roller
parks.
coasters.
It's just they're not worth the price anymore. Doesn't matter.
I live 20 minutes from the whatever Six Flags or Texas, where the fuck
You
it's
don't
called.
like lines. You don't like roller coasters or something. None of you like it, so that's why I don't go.
Hey,
no
I
one
like
to go with.
Schlitterbahn.
Schlitterbahn
like
got all the
Schlitterbahn.
piss and the diseases and
No,
stuff.
the reason why I like Schlitterbahn,
Shitterbahn.
it's not that expensive. It's like $30, which is kind of still
You're
expensive.
paying for it in other ways.
You could stay there all day. You don't pay anything else. Not a lot of wait time other than the big two rides, which aren't even worth it. And that's it. You can actually just pay and not actually wait for anything that much.
But
I would go to theme
with
parks all the
water
time if I
parks-
didn't have to wait for 2 hours for every fucking ride.
Water parks, you end up just being in the lazy river a lot because people
Yeah.
are lazy. They don't want to wait in lines.
Yeah.
Just being like in a big disease-ridden pool all
Yeah.
day. I don't want that, really. I'd rather ride roller coasters. Yeah,
What
lines
is the
suck. I
ocean?
get that. But that's a necessary evil. I could create the Legend of Zelda theme park, and I could rent it out for y'all. No lines. All right, next one.
Why don't they just
Paintball.
put like 6 different trains on every single roller coaster? Why are there only ever 2? They're timed by a computer. Why can't you just literally have them like 10 feet apart the entire time and just pack the whole track?
Because that would be like tripling and quadrupling your costs because you'd have to build rails for each one of them.
No. I'm saying on the
back
same
to
track.
back.
I'm saying on the same track. They're all run by computer, timed to the millisecond of when they go, when they stay, when they slow
No,
down.
it's probably just liability.
No, it's
They don't want
fucking
them
not.
colliding.
It's just... But they can't collide.
They probably can. It'd be
I don't
hard
think
to.
they can.
I don't know.
It would be hard. Like, we
Take
already
it
have
up with
cars
6
on the road with infinitely more complexity that are able to avoid collisions.
Six Flags has like
We
dents
should
up to their
easily...
eyeballs
You
because of how
combine
much
Tesla
cost.
with a fucking theme park, and you should be able to run... You should be able to almost 0 lines for anything. Because you should be able to pack on so many people, so many different trains on a single track, and not have any problems.
You just
ever.
came up with a great idea.
Where's your mind?
Tesla electric solar powered theme park where all of the
Green Park.
Green Park. There you go. I'll add that to the list right now.
It's Green Park. There's no fucking lines, and never gonna get hurt.
Test drive Teslas around.
Never
a track.
getting hurt. Yep, that too. Put them
I'm
on a
all in on
track.
that. That's right up my alley.
Okay.
All right, it's on the list. It's near
Puts
the top
every
of the
other
list
theme
to
park
me.
out of business.
All right,
Because I'm
next
also
one.
going to make it free. The
Paintball
only thing you have
facility.
to pay for is the food.
Classic Halo maps. Talking like Blood Gulch, Valhalla,
You hate Blood Gulch.
fucking Sand Trap. Talking fucking the best map, Guardian. Guardian Paintball. And obviously you like make some of the drops not so steep. But
What about falling off the map? That's an integral part of Guardian.
yeah, we put it in like some like
Foam
pocket
pit?
dimension where people die forever if they fall off. But that's like the fun of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that was a cool idea because it's like paintball. You could also do this laser tag. Like the whole thing that makes those things fun is the maps. And what's better than Halo maps?
Nothing.
Exactly. So the next one is something I've thought about for a long time. Like if I ever became super rich, building the full, maybe not the full, but portions of the Ninja Warrior obstacle course like in your backyard. So you could just like
Yeah.
train on it.
You
Like
can, you can literally go rock
You
climbing.
can,
and do that.
you can go to rock climbing, or you can go to like any
No, I'm not.
Stupid ass CrossFit gym in
That's
the
stupid.
country,
That's not
and they all
what I'm
have
talking
them.
about. I'm talking about literally the Ninja Warrior course. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about,
that's
you
what
can
they
get
do.
the same experience.
Well, that's
from
what they
one.
do. They actually just like build it.
Hanging
It's a bunch of
from
bros
like
who
the
wanna
Ninja
know.
Warrior course different than hanging from a goddamn peg in a rock climbing wall.
Well, I'm not saying, yeah, I can go and like there's a Ninja Warrior like training facility in Houston. I've looked it up, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying someone builds.
I've already fucking signed up. That's not what I'm talking about.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having it in your backyard. That's the point. So then you become a custom builder of Ninja Warrior-esque hardcore obstacle courses for wealthy people. Or for not wealthy people. You put it in the back of like a community area and people can like work out on it and get injured.
I think there should be a way to design a house to where just being lazy in that house, you're still incredibly fit in getting a workout every single day because of the way the house is designed.
That's a
of
good
how
idea.
you get around the house.
Yeah.
You have no other choice.
The problem with that is
As you age, you'll have to change it.
the house would become very annoying. Like I think that would get old.
Working out is annoying.
But it would become
Is it
like
not?
your house is no longer a place of respite. You would come to resent it.
I mean, if I get home from work and I have to do 20 monkey bars across like to the fucking kitchen, like it only takes you 10 seconds, 20 seconds to do.
But there's so many days where you come home and that's the last.
Yeah, and you're going to
You
say,
wouldn't want a monkey
fucking
bar.
bitch, I don't want a monkey bar. Then you just do, because you're like, at the end of the day, it's 20 seconds,
to.
and it keeps me limber. That's the whole point. It's just that like it integrates it into you have to the point where you just don't worry about it anymore because you don't have the choice. We only worry about things that we have. We only worry about something that we're currently doing if we have other choices. I mean, yeah, you could move.
Well, that plays into the last thing I had on here, which is it's already a company I saw. Casita is like this modular home builder that's based out of Austin. They make like these small, weird, like, basically studio style houses that are like small and just enough. It's almost like how you see those Swedish places that are designed for maximum like efficiency with like IKEA furniture and shit. It's like that, but a home builder that's like modular home building. So what you just said could play into that. You build a home with a specific purpose like that. You can look up Casita Company if you want to look at what I'm talking about. But I thought that was a cool idea. Is a company like that makes a new type of home that maximizes space and efficiency.
If you want to maximize space, here's an idea. Why are washers and dryers two separate machines? Why can I not put a load in a machine and it washes it and dries it? It's not that complicated. It already drains it. A washer is already capable of handling water, wet things and dry things. What you're doing is just, it still spins. Why can I just add heat?
You based that entire thing just spinning.
Well, I mean, spinning and heating. I mean, you're still using. What I'm saying is just that a modern washer is capable of spinning and handling dry things and hot things and wet things, which is exactly what a dryer is capable of doing. And they both have heating elements and ways to disperse water and
Actually, I
drain
think
it.
as you're saying this, I have forgotten about my clothes in the washer. They are sitting in the washer mildewing right now.
There you go. They could have already fucking been dry.
Yeah,
But
forgot to switch
I'm
them
pretty
over.
sure that I think that there are a few countries that use them, but it's only in cities around the world that are incredibly space-stricken. But it doesn't make any sense why we don't use them.
Yeah,
There's like one company that makes
What
it,
are you
and it
waiting
does
for?
not sell well.
make that.
It doesn't
company.
make any fucking sense that we don't use them.
Well, we're not
Google-
as time.
if you
not as
Google,
space stricken, I guess.
You can Google it, and you'll see like one or two, and it's only in like fucking Sweden or
I'm looking
Tokyo. That's it. France.
16? Looking at 16 on the Home Depot page.
Yeah.
16 different models.
Why doesn't anyone use them? Because they're too expensive, or we haven't put enough time into.
They cost $2,000.
Yeah.
You could buy a sick new rig instead of that. 2,000's a lot.
I bought a washer and dryer last year. It was terrible. It was like $1,400 or $1,500 for both of them.
Washers and dryers are getting worse as the years go by.
This is something I've never thought about, but that is something I would be interested in. The functionality of both. in one machine. All right, this is the last one. A weird sci-fi themed dance club. Well, the real last one's Ender's Game Battle Room, but it doesn't have to be sci-fi themed, but just, so the whole idea of this was in every one of those like futuristic movies where they're off planet or even on Earth, but it's like everything's a cesspool, everything looks like hell. There's always like a really weird
dance club.
Like and like
the
why
Matrix?
don't we just make that?
We go to Zion.
Yeah.
You want
so,
like some like Twilight Zone themed dubstep to be playing while everyone has like a bunch of black makeup on?
Well, maybe that can happen, but it doesn't have to be that.
I mean, it sounds fun.
Well, I mean that kind of probably already exists in some places, but I just thought that was a missing opportunity for
Houston market.
For normal markets also, because people are weird. They want that stuff.
Really?
And then a recreation of Ender's Game Battle Room once we are in space. Hopefully we're still alive. So those are all the ideas, and we kind of already went through these, but the problems to address are
money,
cost of building each.
Demand.
I have no idea what that would be. You'd need large facilities, infrastructure, all that. I get that. Second thing, demand for this kind of entertainment, which we went through kind of. How would you price things? You're pricing things for an experience, so it's different than like pricing a widget where there's raw materials involved. And then obviously competition. There's theme parks, there's Dave & Buster's, there's Sky Zone, there's normal laser tag, and there's a lot of replacements for these types of things. That's what makes them risky. So those are the primary, we went through those already. So my question to each of y'all is, if you had to put your ass on the line and take out like a small business loan to start one of these ideas, which one would it be?
Green Park.
Because that's the one you came up with. But if it was one of mine.
It's the most because there's a real company behind it that can. I mean, it's just basically a big billboard.
Okay, other than that one, though.
None of them.
No, you have to pick one.
I have to pick one?
What do you mean none of them? You're not even thinking about it.
I am. I've been thinking about it for the past 42 minutes. Let me find it. Dro, give us your hot take while I'm looking.
I wouldn't do any of them either. I'd rather get shot.
I'd rather pocket the money, invest
Like
in the money
commit
market
fraud.
mutual fund like a.
I'd commit
bad.
fraud.
Y'all are so fucking lame.
You want me to be on some hypothetical
the
setting?
problem-
Just be like,
humor
I
me.
want to invest in a goddamn LARPing
I know, no,
game?
but the problem is that like these are all of your ideas, and whenever I said I would invest in one of my ideas, you didn't accept it. So it's like that's
No,
fine.
I fully
I can
accept
go all
that.
in on your idea.
I fully accept
but I'm
that.
just
I'm
saying,
saying-
you have to recognize that it makes sense if I wouldn't want to buy into one of your personal shower ideas.
No, I get that, but the question was literally one of these, and the whole point is a lot of them are probably bad ideas, so it makes it a hard choice. That's what makes it interesting.
Okay.
And yours isn't necessarily that much better than any of these. It's also
Well, I
a theme
know.
park. Theme parks fail. None of them
No,
work.
I would
and that's
never
what's
build a
frustrating.
theme. Why? If we're taking everything out of it, cost, feasibility, everything, it'd be the Ender's Battle Room.
No, the whole point of the
But-
question is you have to take a small business.
Actually, something that is feasible and might have a chance to make money, like even just as small, just staying afloat, break even point.
A lot of these already exist, so the feasibility for some of them, at least, profitability is already out there in the market. I mean, you can use whatever criteria you want, whether it's profitability or whichever one you like best. I don't know.
I don't know. Probably the liquor laser tag. That's the only thing that I can like see existing. Well, that's the thing. It's not the most fun, but it's the only one that I can see people actually being like, yeah, it's
But like
Friday.
Sky
Let's
Zone
go.
already
Let's go.
exists.
Let's go spend $16.
Funplex already exists. The foam parkour gym is just Sky Zone. Slam Ball is Sky Zone. Escape rooms exist. Buying an old theater, like a lot of these, you're not even looking at them.
I would just do the
Hey,
dance
I'm Amy.
because it would be trendy for like 2 weeks.
Which one?
The dance club.
Well, that's the thing, Dylan. Like I understand that Sky Zone already exists. That's why I wouldn't.
Dylan's flip flopped. No,
Like your question,
now
your
he's selling
question
us
doesn't
these
make any
ideas.
sense. Yeah, I don't.
But you're saying none of them are even feasible. Like you can't
No,
even
that's
imagine them
not what I was
existing.
saying. That is not what I was saying. What I was saying, you asked me to choose which one I would, if I had to take out a business loan, which one I
Yeah,
would do. That also takes
exactly.
in personal, like, want and interest. Yeah, I'm factoring everything in.
Okay.
I fucking understand that there's like a fucking trampoline park. I get that. I don't care. I don't want to bounce on a trampoline for $40 an hour. Nor own a place.
Us.
All right, laser
I
tag.
freaking
Look, it's just a bit of fun. That's the whole reason I wanted to do this.
Would open up a cheese factory. You can just come and eat cheese.